Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. I think that XRP price action is going to absolutely stun markets. And I'll even take it a step further and say, even if Ripple ends up losing against the SEC, and I'm not predicting that they'll lose, I don't know for sure, but I'm saying even if that happens, I still think that XRP in terms of price action very well may end up still stunning market participants because they're very well, even in a scenario that's bad for Ripple, the company itself, there still could be an absolutely viable and positive path forward for XRP. So I've got a few topics that I want to share with you in this latest Moon Family Sedan room temperature jam. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Deaton says nothing changes for Ripple even if it loses summary judgment. Yeah, so it might not just be the case, like even if Ripple loses, could still be incredible for XRP depending on what the judge says. But even for Ripple, what, they're already living in a world where XRP is basically not allowed in the United States, and they're doing amazing. Like, think about that. They're on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP as a bridge currency. When they announced their last big figure, which I think was last summer, if I'm not mistaken anyway, they're talking about 800, 900% up year over year from that point. After all of this, that's amazing. Imagine if they weren't being choked out by the government. Then there's also this headline from Crypto Basic. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood says SEC looks set to lose in Ripple case. I sure as hell hope that's true. Although, like I said, again, even if not, probably could still have a pretty good path forward. And then I want to touch on this just a little bit at the end of the video. It's not XRP specific, but it's interesting nonetheless. Here's a headline from Forbes. Sam Bankman-Fried's legal defense is being funded with Alameda money he gifted his father. That's right, folks. So, I guess stole money, gave to dad. Those are funds that should have been in the hands of customers anyway. And now he's using that money to pay for his legal defense. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And I hope we find out, because I know it could be any day, but I really hope we find out sooner than later how Judge Torres is going to rule. I'm very optimistic for so many reasons, and unless there's actually bad news for XRP in there, XRP is going to rocket. I don't know to what degree, but man, the idea of it hitting a new all-time high or getting pretty close to that direction, maybe even entering price discovery, that's not wacky. It's really not wacky. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's just after what we've all been through for over 2 years at this point, and the artificial price suppression of XRP over that time period, just knowing that any day we could wake up to that positive reality, it just feels good, and we deserve to have that. Anyway, piece reads as follows. The cryptocurrency community has continued anticipating the summary judgment for Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. It is common knowledge that a ruling favoring Ripple would boost the price of XRP and set a precedent for similar cryptocurrency projects. However, not much has been said about what would happen if Ripple fails at arguing that XRP is not a security. In a tweet today, Attorney John Deaton backed comments made by Bilal S. Little, a president of DFD Partners, on the matter. During a recent interview with CoinDesk TV, Little said the outcome of the ongoing Ripple lawsuit would not affect Ripple's operations in any way. And he said, quote, "It does not matter whether Ripple wins or loses. They still have those long-term institutional partnerships in which they will still be able to move value across the internet. Even if Ripple loses, it will still play a typical role representing Bank of America and other several and large institutions. It will also continue to move capital around the world, providing liquidity to both small and regional institutions." End quote. Yeah, exactly. And so, as I've said for many years, he actually is spot on there. The thing is, if this isn't resolved positively for Ripple, then we have what is now effectively the status quo. And moving forward, Ripple absolutely will keep growing out RippleNet and on-demand liquidity, but there will be no corridor touching the United States. Certainly not using XRP, that's for sure. It'll just get used everywhere else on the entire planet. There will be one country on Earth where it can't go, and that would be the United States. Now, it's hard to believe that would actually be something that could alter, like, if let the whole thing play out. Even if there are appeals, I'm just saying, if this makes it to the Supreme Court, come on. So I don't see that happening forever. No matter what, I think there's a happy ending. It's just, like, what? how many years have to pass for all of this to get straightened out? Because we're already at over 2 years here. And if you're talking about appeals, this could end up being 5, 6, 7 year process. I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. Anyway, Peace continues though. Reacting to the comment, attorney Deaton said the DFD Partners executive's analysis is correct. According to Deaton, if Ripple loses its case against the SEC, the company will continue its normal operations. At the same time, it appeals the ruling of the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. He added that since the SEC did not seek a preliminary injunction, the leading Silicon Valley tech company will continue to experience tremendous growth of 800%. While attorney Deaton believes that Ripple's operations will not be affected by an unfavorable ruling, he wonders what would happen if the blockchain company wins the lawsuit. Yeah, me too. Because there's still the possibility that, if Ripple just gets an outright win, and I don't know how likely that is, but if they do, just everything's positive, XRP clearly not a security, well, the SEC is still going to appeal, right? And so then in the meantime, the question is, do exchanges relist XRP at that point, just because of the ruling from a district court judge? I hope so, but that's the $1 million question. That I don't know. And then there was this from Alex Kruger, who is an analyst who shares perspective all up on the Twitters. He's not exactly a fan of XRP, but that's fine. I don't need people to like the same cryptocurrencies as me. That's fine. As long as people aren't being trolly about it, I don't mind. As long as they're just being intellectually honest, then I'll just think, okay, you're a human, that's wrong. And that's fine. They can think I'm wrong. Super duper. No problem with that. But even Alex Kruger here, who's been pretty critical of Ripple and XRP over the years, he wrote, Ripple winning over the SEC would translate into alt season. So follow that closely, even if not long, the standard. Yeah, well, it's possible. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen, but if it ends up being viewed as a win for crypto in general, then yeah, you could see a little alt season, if you will. I'm not saying it'd be 2017 style, but maybe you see something like that. Though even if that happens, I still think XRP would benefit the most out of any large cap coin because the spotlight is on XRP. That's the one where there actually is actual real clarity in theory at that point, depending on what the ruling is. And for all the other coins, there could be some excitement spread to them because should they be, end up under the microscope, perhaps the perception would be that they'd be able to thrive and win against the SEC as well. But the only one that would truly have that certainty would be XRP itself. So I still think the vast majority of the movements would be positive money flowing into XRP itself. So we'll see here. Now, even Cathie Wood, though, I shouldn't say even. It's not like she's against Ripple or XRP. But she is also thinking that looks like the SEC's not most likely to win here. And so here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood says SEC looks set to lose in Ripple case. In 2020, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission accused Ripple and its executives of breaking securities laws by selling XRP to fund its business. It argued that the blockchain payments company should have registered the asset with the commission, which, by the way, I'll note is literally impossible to do because you have to know all of your customers, and you can't do that with a decentralized ledger. Literally impossible, but is what it is. Peace continues. After over 2 years, the extended legal battle finally awaits a court ruling. ARK Invest Chief Executive Officer Cathie Wood has weighed in on the case's outcome. She believes that the SEC looks poised to lose the case. However, she does not explain why she believes this is the case. Quote, it seems they, the SEC, might be on the way to losing that, the Ripple case, as well, end quote. That's what she said in this interview. And that's I can't recall off the top of my head, actually, if I had seen her talk about this before, but she's rather famous in the world of crypto and in terms of investing in the space. And I would love to see that. And oh, by the way, actually, I did want to share this. I almost forgot. I responded to Alex Kruger, and I wrote, it's certainly possible that a win for XRP would prop up alts in general. Also consider that even if Ripple loses, the judge could still indicate that secondary market transactions of XRP are immune. This would be viewed as just as good as a win. Yeah, and see, I don't see enough people articulating that perspective, really. Ripple could lose, and it could still be fantastic for XRP, depending upon what Judge Torres says in her ruling. And I think she's going to be thorough as hell. I mean, this is something that's different than what the library case. all the amicus briefs that were filed, and she has a very firm understanding and genuine curiosity as to, she certainly has indicated that leading up to where we are at this juncture in time, to learn about the space and the technology and understand how it works. And just knowing what I know about the law, not as an attorney, obviously, but even just a regular dude having filed the case, understanding the degree to which the SEC is absolutely on the wrong side of this, I do firmly believe that the judge is going to see this. Now, is she going to find some sort of ruling against Ripple? Well, she could. What about those I think there's something like 100 brochures that Ripple handed out, back in, what year was that? 2014, 2015? I can't remember. It was almost none, but it is a thing that happened. Would the judge take a look at that and say, well, that looks like you're promoting something that's therefore illegal, but even if that happened, then could you connect it to who is it that looked at that and then actually bought something? Was there any damage there? Or is it just that the offer was made and it's like, is it going to be something as minuscule as that, and then the SEC gets a technical win for some small piece of this? It's possible, but again, even if that happens, that doesn't mean that secondary market transactions of XRP would somehow, be illegal transactions. I don't know, there's just a lot of ways to go, but all that to say, I just want to share my perspective because I know we're really getting down to the wire on this thing. It's going to be over soon, very, very soon. I think that unless you get a disaster ruling, I think that XRP just goes on a tear. In terms of price action, I think it's going to absolutely stun people, and it may I be so old to say this, it may even melt faces. I would love to see melted face go on the ground. I haven't seen that since like 2017, man, when XRP ran to its greatest price point ever, close to $4. It was great. If you were walking around in 2017 and you weren't in crypto, you might be like, what's all these little like vomit-looking piles all over the pavement and the streets? It's just everywhere outside. And you wouldn't know necessarily if you're not in crypto, but it's just melted face goo. It's disgusting. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to see that again. But we haven't seen that disgusted, melty XRP face goo because of the SEC. So we are finally at this moment in time where face goo will come and something. I'm here for it. It's going to be totally gross. I can't wait for it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.